Hey guys, so today I am announcing my 125,000 subscriber milestone giveaway. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, for subscribing, for watching, for commenting, for being my online friend here. Huge thank you so much. I am doing a giveaway, and I will talk about what is in the giveaway at the end of this video. All the instructions on how to enter will be down below in my description box. But what I wanted to do was a Q&A, and I thought I would do like a get ready with me Q&A kind of a thing, but I have such a hard time doing my makeup and just talk. I can talk about like what I'm doing, like a tutorial or a demo or something, but it's very difficult for me to do a demo and answer your questions basically. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm completely barefaced. I think maybe I'll have a barefaced day today, give my face a break. I have been putting a full face of makeup on for the past like 7 days straight. So I think it'd be nice to let my skin breathe. I am gonna put a little bit of lip balm on because my lips do get dry. They feel fine now, but I feel like as I talk, they get drier and drier. So let's see here. I'm gonna throw on just some of this by Terry Balm de Rose. So I put out a call for questions on my Instagram stories, and I haven't looked at your questions. I hope there's some in here. And I think what I generally do during these Q&As, because they're just a nice way for you guys to get to know me a little bit more, I'm gonna not avoid, but I'm going to focus more on the questions that are about non-makeup stuff. I just think with all the other hundreds of videos I put out, they're always like so focused on makeup. So I think it'd be nice to kind of talk about things that are not makeup related. So that's what I'm gonna focus on in terms of questions. And then at the end, we will get to what is in my giveaway. Very exciting stuff. I cannot wait to show you what I have in this giveaway for you guys. So let me pull up these questions. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. You guys are amazing. There are a lot of questions here. Holy smokes. Okay. All right. First question is, what are some tips to build a YouTube brand business? Definitely find your niche. And I mean, really kind of hone it in. I think it's important not just in terms of like the audience that you attract, but it also helps you as a creator figure out what kind of content you want to film, because we all love gazillions of different things. You know, there's so many more things that I love on top of makeup. Makeup is probably, you know, up there, but it's not the only thing that I love. And I think when you're starting out, a big mistake is that people just want to talk about everything that they love. And it's hard to grab an audience that way. But I think also in terms of content, there's just too many things to talk about. You know, you'll probably end up with like analysis paralysis, where it's like, well, I could talk about this time and whatever. You know, if you really love something, you'll never be short of content. So I would really kind of like hone what it is you want your channel to be about. If you want it to be about, let's say, you know, luxury makeup, I even have to sometimes, like in my own mind, kind of like hone down the brands that I want to talk about. You know, occasionally if I just want to try stuff or whatever and it appeals to me, I'll purchase it. But sometimes I think to myself, oh my God, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. If I purchase something from this brand and I really love it, this is like another brand that's just going to be on my radar, and it's just very overwhelming. So definitely I would niche down. I would also say consistency. And I know these are probably things that you hear all the time if you do watch like YouTube guru videos, and the advice that they give you, they always throw around the word consistency. And I think sometimes it's mistaken for quantity. Like, to be consistent means you just put up a lot of videos. I don't think that is what, in my mind, that's not what consistency is. And it's also, I don't think what viewers are looking for necessarily. I think people do want to see a lot of content. I think people just really absorb a lot of content these days, especially online. But I think consistency means setting a schedule for yourself and sticking to it. And not only is that great, I think, for growing your audience, they come to expect it, they look forward to it. But I think, again, it gives you a parameter of a schedule to kind of work with, almost like niching down. It gives you a parameter. It gives you like almost these like built-in rules. So it's like, if you upload every Saturday, then you gotta, you know, have something like ready to go by Friday night. Like, that's just gonna be your routine. And I think, you know, we all live really busy lives, and I think it's really important to create a schedule. So consistency in my mind is having a consistent schedule. Oh, and the third thing I would say, and this will be my last bit of advice, is just always be learning. So you're now on YouTube, you're a YouTube content creator, and let's say you have a makeup channel, a beauty channel. So I think a lot of times people focus on the actual content, which is great, the makeup. You know, they want to learn about makeup techniques, they watch other YouTube videos, they talk to makeup companies, they join a master class, they watch Instagram Live, and I think that's amazing. But I think that's only half of it. I think you have to remember also that you are a YouTube creator. You know, so learn about video making, learn about storytelling over videos, watch other channels that you want to emulate, really break it down. Watch it as like a YouTube analyst. Like, why do I like this channel? What is it about these videos that are so appealing to me? And, you know, I'm not saying like go out and copy someone, but you want to emulate the qualities that you enjoy in other YouTube videos, other successful YouTubers. You want to kind of like break it down and figure out, at least for yourself, what it is that is so appealing to you and why you keep going back to these YouTube videos. You want to learn about how to create great thumbnails. You want to figure out how to look at the YouTube analytics. So I think you definitely always want to be learning. I try and watch videos on a nightly basis, which doesn't always happen, but I try and watch before I go to bed videos on, you know, Photoshop, videos on video making. I subscribe to a lot of like different YouTube gurus. So I would, you know, just really immerse yourself in the idea of content creation and also like what it is that you're talking about on YouTube. So those are the 3 bits of advice that I would give to anyone who's, you know, looking to build or grow their YouTube brand and their business. What are some of your favorite clothing stores? I have a lot, but I probably shop from a few the most. So Everlane is one that I shop from because they just have great basics. I just love them. They have elastic waisted pants. which is a style I live by these days. So I love Everlane, and I really enjoy Cos Stores, which is I think they're owned by the same people as H&M, but they have a little bit more of like a modern, minimalistic kind of style. So I really like Cos Stores. I do really like H&M. I find their styles to be, you know, on trend. So it's really nice and wearable. And I think it looks good on camera for you guys. And then in terms of like, you know, if I'm going to go and like splurge on some clothing, I really love The Row. The Olsen twins, their line. I just love it. I love all the clothing. I love the style. I love the look. I love them. I love their look. So I love The Row. I really, really loved Barney's. Barney's was really, it like got me. I think it got a lot of people, but it really got me. I really love their aesthetic. I love the brands that they carried. And it's been quite a hit. Every time I think about certain things like my favorite handbag or my wedding ring, all these things I got at Barney's, and it's really sad, but I used to love to shop at Barney's. Rest in peace. Favorite place to travel to? Ooh, wow. Okay. For like a relaxing beach vacation, I love Turks and Caicos. It's just beautiful. It's a Caribbean island. Gorgeous. The water there is unbelievable. And the beaches, you can walk out for what feels like a mile and the water is still like just kind of like waist deep. It's amazing. It's so amazing. So I love Turks and Caicos. And in terms of sightseeing, my favorite place, you know, like city that I've been to is Japan. I love Tokyo. I loved all the cities I went to actually. Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Hiroshima. I loved all of them. They all had their own like personality, and the food was amazing. The people there are amazing. I would not hesitate to go back if I had the opportunity, and hopefully soon, one day, we'll have the opportunity to travel again. But I would really love to go to Japan. I really haven't traveled, you know, internationally a lot. I've been to, you know, Mexico a few times, Costa Rica, London, but I really haven't explored Europe that much, so I would really like to go there. So spending the time and the money to go someplace I've already been doesn't really make sense, but man, Japan was awesome. What's your regular day like during and before the pandemic? Like a regular day is probably not that much different because I work from home because I work for myself. I do YouTube full time. I really don't think like it's that much different. There's some minor differences. Let me say that. So I used to work out at Orange Theory Fitness, which is like a group gym, kind of like boot camp type of workout with some cardio mixed in or whatever. I don't do that anymore. They did reopen and they do have people like at every other like station. Personally, I just don't think that's enough. So I stopped doing that. And so like my workout has changed a little bit. I'm just kind of doing stuff privately for Pilates, and I'm just, you know, kind of running when I can. It's been very hot. So that has changed a little bit. The fact that my husband is now working from home with no plans to go back to the office. Don't really know what's going on there. So that's like a little bit different, just having someone else here. I used to just sit here by myself all the time. So that's a little bit different. He does keep to himself in his office. We like definitely have our work days where I'm in my office here, he's in his office. You know, we come out and check on each other for like lunch or whatever, but that's it. We both are like pretty busy all day. So that's a little bit of a change, but that's it really. Because I've had the luxury of working for myself and working from home, it hasn't really changed that much. Ooh, what would you like to do next if YouTube ever stopped being profitable? I don't know. I don't know, and I'm generally someone that has like some sort of backup plan, or I'm always kind of doing, like I have my main thing and then I kind of have like a side hustle. And this is the first time in my life I don't have like a side hustle or a backup plan. I enjoy doing this so much. This has been such a privilege. I love working for myself. I love working from home. That hasn't changed that much from my previous job when I was a knitwear designer. I pretty much worked for myself except for like one last job that I took before I started doing YouTube. And so I worked from home. And before that, I had always worked, you know, like an office job. This is just, it's just such a dream compared to an office job that I don't know. I feel like I should probably have some sort of backup plan, but I don't. I love what I do. And, you know, I'm not really someone that like draws their identity or their self-worth from their job. So if this, let's say just YouTube closed down tomorrow, knock on wood, but let's say it happened, I would have no problem just, you know, looking for any kind of job, any kind of office job, receptionist, or, you know, just anything like that. I would have no problem doing that just to kind of like pay my bills or whatever. But it's definitely something I haven't thought about at all, which is very, very odd for me. Okay, next question. Did you work in the beauty industry before starting YouTube? I did not. I've kind of like worked in and out of the fashion industry, kind of here and there. My first job out of college I was in the merchandising department at Saks Fifth Avenue, in their catalog department when they had that. And even before that, when I was in college, I would, you know, kind of like intern and help my friend who was in the fashion industry. And I've always had friends that were like really involved in the fashion industry. And then before YouTube, I was a hand knitwear designer. So I feel like fashion and beauty are very, very closely related. And it's always been something that I've really, really enjoyed. I was very into drawing and painting in high school and in college. And it was something that was like very translatable because you're basically just using your face as a canvas. And so I really always really enjoyed it and thought it was so much fun. And I maybe could have seen myself getting into it a little bit more if I didn't start having some very severe eczema where I couldn't really put the makeup on myself. So I just kind of became a little disinterested in makeup because I couldn't play with it as much as I wanted to. So no, I never really worked in the beauty industry before YouTube, but I've always just loved it so much. Do you miss the hustle and bustle of New York City? I do. I miss New York. I mean, unfortunately this year I have not been able to go back and visit as much as I wanted to. But I do miss it. You know, Vegas is very relaxed compared to New York. And so this has been a nice change, but I do miss the hustle and bustle. I do miss the pace, I guess you could say, or how much I felt like I could get done in a day. And something I always tell people when they ask me about, you know, New York, what is it like to live in New York City? It's like, you know how some people would struggle to get 10,000 steps in a day? They have their little trackers and track their steps. I'm like, if you live in New York, you don't need to track your step. You get at least 10,000 steps a day by noon. Like not a problem. You wouldn't need one of those trackers. So I do miss that. I do welcome this much slower, quieter life here in Vegas, but I do miss it in New York. Do you plan on buying a house in Vegas? Okay. I see beautiful homes for sale there on YouTube. Really? Okay. I mean, I guess so. Like, we've talked about it. We owned an apartment in New York, which we sold, and we're renting here in Vegas now. And I really, really like renting. I really like not having the responsibility of a home. I really love being able to call someone when a light bulb needs to be changed, when my toilet is clogged. I really like that not being my problem. But I also know owning a home, especially in a city like Vegas, which is growing, is a very, very good investment. So yeah, it's definitely something we're thinking about. Definitely something we're thinking about. You know, we live in this little townhouse. It's super cozy. It felt palatial when we moved here from New York. So my townhouse is about like 1,500 square feet. Our apartment in New York, which when we purchased it, it felt so big, but that was 1,000 square feet. And there's just the two of us and the dog, and this is fine. But again, I do know that for investment purposes or whatever, it would be smart to buy like a home here in Vegas. So yeah, probably rates are low, all that good stuff. So I don't know, maybe over the next couple of months I'll think about it a little bit more seriously, but I'm really enjoying renting right now. Ooh, my favorite topic, favorite Vegas eats. Okay, there's a lot. Unfortunately, a lot of them are on the Strip, which they're like kind of opening and closing. It's like as soon as someone who works there test positive for COVID, they close immediately, which is what they should do. So, and some of them have actually closed. So hopefully anything I recommend to you is not closed. Let's see. I love Morimoto. That's at MGM. That's just excellent sushi, excellent steak. I mean, it's Morimoto and it's great. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. I do love Spago at Bellagio. That's an LA-based restaurant. Is that a Wolfgang Puck? I think that's a Wolfgang Puck restaurant. It is so delicious. It's just so good. It's so good. They have the best desserts. I mean, like the absolute best. I could just go there and order, and I'm not like the biggest dessert person. I'm definitely more of like an apps entree person, but I could go and just order one of each dessert, which I've done with a group of girlfriends, and it was so, it just takes your breath away. So Spago is definitely one at Bellagio. Let me think of some off-strip places. My favorite Korean barbecue place is not in Chinatown, surprisingly, but it's Gong. It's spelled Goong, and it's on, if you guys live here, it's on Rainbow by Robindale. So it's in that like southwest area. I love the Korean barbecue there. And the restaurant is like nice and spacious. There's like pretty tall walls for the booths. So you really feel like you have like a private dining experience. And it's been great during COVID because you're very distanced. The tables there are huge. So you're like automatically distanced from your neighbor, which is great. So that's my favorite Korean barbecue. Jinya, Jiny, is my favorite ramen. So good. So good. Their black garlic ramen is my favorite. My favorite pizza place unfortunately closed. It was called 550 and it was in Aria, the casino. That closed. My second favorite pizza place is Naked City, which is on Blue Diamond. Well, actually they have a bunch around the city, but it's called Naked City. And if you're ever in Vegas, get the Buffalo 22 pizza from Naked City. Delicious. My favorite sushi is Sushi Hero, which is in Henderson. It is Henderson is like the big like suburb of Las Vegas, and it's on Eastern where everything is in Henderson. It's on Eastern by like Silverado Ranch. Anyway, Sushi Hero, Hiro. It is so fresh. It is so delicious. Everyone that works there is Japanese, so it's just very authentic. It's so good, so good. So Sushi Hero. For like all you can eat sushi, I really like Sushi Neko, Neko. in Chinatown. It's on Spring Mountain. Spring Mountain, like Decatur. That one's also delicious. So if you're into like those rolls with like lots of sauces and maybe they've been baked or they've been deep fried, like the really intricate rolls with like all this stuff on it, definitely go there. They have a great all-you-can-eat menu. Sushi Hero is definitely more like authentic Japanese. So they just have like sushi, some basic sushi rolls. They have a great selection, but it's less like, I don't know, Americanized with all the sauces and everything. So those are some places you can definitely check out. I have a ton more, but I'm not gonna bore you with all of them. Oh wow, we have a couple of handbag questions here. Okay, you can only have one designer purse. What is it? Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. Probably one of my Chanel bags that I just purchased, either the Chanel 19 or the Chanel Cocoa Top handle. I love them both. Yeah, definitely one of those. I don't think I could pick between the two of them. You'd have to just rip the other one out of my hands. And then the other handbag question is, what's on your handbag wish list? So, you guys, I have been eyeing... So I've been eyeing the Chanel Trendy, the medium-sized one for a while, and I was hemming and hawing about it, and then I got the Cocoa Top handle, which I absolutely love. But I'm still thinking about the Chanel Trendy, and, you know, of course, I was like, of course, I would just get it in black, the diamond quilting. And the sales associate that I work with, she works at the Chanel at the Bellagio. She sent me, you know, some pictures of stuff, and it was actually in the background. It was like this lilac colored trendy, a really, really light lilac color. And I think I already talked about this in a video, but I was surprised at how much I like it. I don't generally like pastels. I'm not a pink and purple lover. That's not my thing. I really just, as you can tell, I really just enjoy black. I don't know if I could like ever pull the trigger on a color that is so not me, but it's like on my wish list for sure. I mean, I think I would probably want to get a black one first, just so that I had the basic one, the one that I could carry whenever I wanted to. But that lilac one is really beautiful. So the Chanel Trendy bag, either black or lilac, that is definitely on my wish list. I also love this one bag from Loewe, and it is their balloon bag. So it's almost like this bucket drawstring bag, and they've been coming out with like different versions of it. So the first season they released it, it just had, you know, they had like all leather, and then they had like color blocking where one part of it was like a black leather, the other part was like a rich cognac leather. And now they're kind of coming out with more versions of that with like different colored leather, and very appealing. So I definitely have my eye on a balloon bag from Loewe. A bag that has long been on my wish list is an Hermes Constance bag. I just love them. I love how classic they are. I love how beautiful they are. I love that, you know, there's like clearly like an H logo on the front, but it's also the buckle, so it's kind of hidden too. I just really love it. Yeah, that is definitely on my wish list. So those 3 bags. It's a lot of bags on my wish list. And there's more. I'm sure there's more. Oh wow, someone's asking me how I quit smoking. I just quit. So it was my second try, and well, for those of you who don't know, I used to be a very heavy smoker. I used to smoke like 3 packs of Reds a day, easy, at my height, at my height of smoking. I started smoking in high school, and I quit in my late 20s. I pretty much quit because I was tired of smelling like smoke. Just really tired of it. You could be perfectly clean, your clothes could be perfectly washed, you could have doused yourself in perfume, but if you're a smoker, you smell like smoke. Always, no matter what you do, where you smoke, how hard you try, you always smell like smoke. So I was just kind of tired of it. I know that's kind of like a weird reason to quit smoking, but at that age, you're not really going to display too many health issues yet. So I had been smoking, I don't know, maybe 12 years, maybe 10 or 11 years. I think I probably started when I was 16 and maybe quit when I was like 27. But I really smoked many years worth in there. And I tried to quit smoking once. It lasted maybe a couple of weeks, and I just didn't want to, you know, it was like, I just wanted to have a cigarette. And so I just got to the point where I was like, I'm done. I am done. And I remember it was in the middle of the day. I was working as a floater, so I was like a secretary. I took plenty of cigarette breaks, and it was my cigarette break after lunch on a Tuesday. I go downstairs, you know, took the elevator all the way down, and I'm standing out in front of the building, and I thought to myself, I was like, this is my last cigarette. And I stamped out my cigarette, and I had my pack of cigarettes in my pocket, and I threw them out in the trash. And that was it. It wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy, but I just decided that that was what I was going to do, that I was just done with smoking. And I was living with two very heavy smokers at the time. That was okay. You know, it was like, it was fine. I think what was difficult were all of just the little things that I associated with smoking. So when we went out to eat, you just get up after dinner, you go outside and you smoke with your friends that smoked or whatever. And it was like, you know, I would start, you know, I would go through the motions. I would get up or whatever, and I would go outside, and then I would just kind of stand there with them and not smoke. I didn't go to bars for a while because I knew that was going to be difficult. And at that point in New York, you could smoke in a bar. So I didn't go to bars for a while. And I just knew that I was going to, you know, want a cigarette if I went to a bar. So I avoided bars. But, you know, things like your first cigarette in the morning, that was really, really tough. I definitely replaced smoking with plenty of eating, a little bit of shopping. It was like anything I could do to distract myself. And I thought, you know what? Just one thing at a time. I'm not going to worry about my weight. I'm not going to worry about my finances too much. As long as I pay my bills, I'm just going to focus on quitting smoking. I'm going to admit, I still miss it to this day. I still tell my husband, if they cure cancer, I'm going to go out and buy a pack of cigarettes. Wow, God, there's so many good questions here. This is going to be a long video. Okay. What do you wish you knew 10 years ago? 10 years ago, I wish I knew how fun YouTube would be. I mean, 10 years ago, I was, you know, a different person. So would I have enjoyed it as much as I do now? I don't know. But yeah, I do wish I knew that. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have an older brother. He still lives in New York City. What university did you go to, and what was your major? I went to NYU. I went to the Stern School of Business in NYU. I majored in finance and marketing. Why did you decide not to have kids? I know it's too personal, but I am just curious. It is personal, but that's fine. I don't think I decided not to have kids. I never wanted them. So for me, it would have to be like, I'm deciding to have kids. So for me, it just, nothing changed. Nothing made me want kids. I never wanted them. I came out of the womb not wanting kids. I never liked dolls. I always played with stuffed animals. I hated babysitting. And I remember, you know, my friends would talk about, oh, like, can't wait to get married and have kids. And I would be like, I just could never relate. It was just something I just never wanted. You know how some people just say like, I just want kids. They don't know what it is. I feel the same exact way not wanting kids. I just don't want kids. Like, I just know that I don't want children, that is not my life. That's not my path. So yeah, it was never really a decision. It was just like, not for me, not for me. Oh, I have a couple of questions. Like, why did we move to Vegas? So I definitely have talked about this before, but we wanted a change. We were definitely getting priced out of New York. New York is very expensive to live in. It's a lot. As much as I love New York, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I love it. I do. I think I'll always consider myself a New Yorker. I'll always consider it home. I'll always refer to it as home. I think it was just time for a change for us. My husband is born and bred in New York. I was born and raised in New Jersey, and then I went to NYU for school, so I had lived there a long, long time. I have to tell you, I was not down with the Las Vegas idea. My husband really likes it here. He loves the warmer weather. I do not. I don't. I do like the lack of humidity, though. I will say that makes a huge, huge difference. But my parents live outside of Vegas, and so we had come to visit them, and so we had gotten to know Vegas outside of the Strip, which is, if you just visit Vegas, that's pretty much all you come to know about Vegas, is you just think it's just huge casinos. But we had the luxury of being able to come here and visit outside the Strip and just, you know, live a normal kind of life for the time that we were here. And so we saw that it was very normal, you know, just very kind of like normal suburbs, but that the food was amazing. So we were thinking about moving out of New York before we decided on Las Vegas. And so there were other places that we considered, like Miami, like Chicago, like Boston, like Austin, Denver, Portland, Seattle, you know, all the big places. And what I wanted was something different. I figured if I'm going to uproot myself, like seriously uproot myself, because we were both very, very New York that it had to be different enough. So that kind of knocked out Chicago. It kind of knocked out Boston. And then I was like, I want someplace cheaper because I don't want to move and continue having this like money struggle. So that was another consideration. I said, I have to not feel weird being Asian, which is a consideration in this country. So that kind of knocked out a lot of this country, unfortunately. And then I was like, it has to have good food and I have to be close to an airport. And that was Vegas. It's much cheaper, much, much cheaper. The food here is amazing. I don't know if it's on par with New York, but it is excellent, excellent. And the airport here is so convenient. In the mornings, like if I leave early enough, it takes me like 10 minutes to get to the airport. It is amazing. So yeah, so that's why we pretty much settled on Las Vegas. A lot of people assume that I moved here because my parents were here. That was a nice plus, but that is not why we moved here. It was for all these other reasons, and it's great. I'm so happy with the food here. When are you coming out with your own makeup? I don't know. Never say never, for sure, but I don't have any plans at the moment. I'm working on some merch. I'm working on some merchandise. I'm hard at work on it. I'm not going to be the typical influencer and tell you I've been working on it for 5 years and it's so difficult, but I am hard at work on it. Hopefully, I'm probably a little past the midway point in the whole process. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm hoping to be able to have something for you guys by the holidays, but we'll see. I also don't want to push it, and I also need to figure out a lot of things. Let me just say that. So we'll see, but I am hoping to come out with some merch soon. Makeup, I don't know. That is, it's an expensive endeavor. It's also complicated. It's complicated. There's a lot of rules and laws involved in releasing makeup. So that's something I feel, again, never say never, but I would really have to like sit down with myself and be like, is this what you want to do? So we'll see. All right, just a couple more questions here. They're about YouTube, which I love talking about. Best affordable camera when you're starting YouTube. I would say the Canon M50. I think that's a great camera. You can very easily throw on there like a little Rode microphone. I talk about it when I talk about my filming setup. So it's not my main camera, but it is one of my cameras that I like to vlog with. And when I sit, like, you know, when I put it down and I actually like just film myself statically, not vlogging, not walking around, it's great. It's a great camera. So the Canon M50, I would definitely recommend. And watch that video of mine if you're interested. Last but not least, how do you like being a full-time YouTuber? What are the pros and cons versus a full-time job? So I already talked about how much I do really, really, really like it. I love all the different little creative outlets that you have. For makeup, that's a whole creative outlet in and of itself, you know, creating makeup looks, putting makeup on. I love the process of kind of like painting on your face. And then the whole idea of video editing, making your thumbnails, like there's all these different little outlets for your creativity that I just really, really enjoy. I never ever thought I would enjoy making content so much. It really is so thrilling between like, you know, these sit down videos that I do, vlogging, Instagram posts, Instagram stories, like it's just a lot of fun. And of course, I love talking about what I talk about. So you have the freedom to kind of talk about whatever you want. It's really, really amazing. And I've talked about this a gazillion times too, but if you are interested, if you have any interest in starting a YouTube channel and creating content, do it. Give it a shot. It is so much fun. You'll just really get into it, and it's this rabbit hole that you're not going to want to get out of. It's really wonderful. You're going to learn so much about yourself doing it. I just love it. I highly recommend it. So pros and cons versus a full-time job. Well, the cons are also the pros. Like I love working for myself, but that's kind of a con sometimes because you're working for yourself. For me and from all of my other YouTube friends that I know of, you end up working a lot more. If you have an office job where you work 9 to 5, you know, you work the occasional overtime or whatever, that's tough. That's 40 hours a week, maybe 50. Let's say that's 50 hours a week. My average week is between 70 and 80 hours a week. For sure. It is what it is. Do I mind that? Not really. I think it's great. So I guess that could be considered a con. A con also is just all the things that come with working for yourself, working as like a small, you can consider yourself a small business. You don't have vacation time. You don't have health insurance. You don't have a 401k that's being matched by your employer. So you don't have any of those sorts of cushy kind of corporate benefits that you can get from a 9-to-5 job. But for me, the trade-off is it's just so much better. I love working for myself. I have never worked as hard at a job as I do with YouTube, and nothing has also been more gratifying. Absolutely wonderful. And again, I recommend anyone who is interested in creating content and kind of like doing their own thing. I mean, there's just nothing better than YouTube. It is like absolutely, if you have like a smartphone, you can start. It's absolutely free. It's just amazing. So that is it for the Q&A. I'm so sorry I did not get to half as many questions as I wanted to. There were a lot of makeup questions in here that I didn't answer because I really wanted to talk about more personal stuff. So let me show you what is in this giveaway. Okay, so first off, what is included in the giveaway is this Kuyana vanity makeup case. This is mine, so I'm just kind of using this as a prop, but I ordered you guys one. So it's in the same exact size and color, and it is gorgeous. You can see it holds quite a bit. So I thought it would be fun to have the giveaway kind of all fit in here, and I could send you this makeup case, but the makeup case came all like wrapped up and like sealed. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it came all wrapped up in plastic and sealed, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to mess with that. So this is going to be included in the giveaway, and then all the makeup will also be included, but it won't be in the makeup case like I have it modeled here. So I'm not going to go through everything, so you're going to be getting at least what I'm showing you and then a lot more. So I'm including the Chantecaille Le Chrome Luxe Eye Duo in Piazza San Marco. I'm also not going to be opening everything up because I want to keep it as pristine as possible. There's the Laura Mercier Face Illuminator in Addiction. We have the Chantecaille Full Brow Perfecting Gel. We also have the Chantecaille Faux Cils Longest Lash Mascara. This is a gorgeous mascara. The Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk. The Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Blush Stick in Chouchette. The By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. I am also including this NARS like limited edition, like special limited edition Laguna Bronzer. Now, this came in a PR package, so it doesn't have the outer box. It also has like a little sticky bit here, which I apologize for, but it was like stuck into the PR package. Anyway, I didn't want it to go to waste because it really is so beautiful. There's the overspray, but I did want to explain to you why it would not be coming in like a box or whatever, because I just got it like this. And then we have the Dior Rouge Blush from the limited edition Summer 2020 collection. This is in Pink Pong. This one has been sold out everywhere, so I'm so happy to be able to include it in this giveaway. On top of their Quint eyeshadow palette in Sprint, this is the one that has like the pink, the orange, it has like brown in there. I actually did a video which kind of features both of these, so that will be included as well. And then we have some lip products from Ilia. We have a lot of lip products from Dior, and then you will also be getting the Augustinus Batter the Rich Cream. So that is at least the stuff that you'll be getting between now and when the giveaway closes. If I get any PR that I'm not going to use, I'm going to throw that into the giveaway as well. So definitely check the description box down below on how to enter, and thank you guys so much. I think I'm at 128,000 subscribers here on YouTube. This is to celebrate hitting 125, which is just such an incredible milestone. I still can't believe it. I just leaned my 100,000 subscriber plaque from YouTube back there just so you guys can see, because I don't think I've shared that with you guys, but I did get that from YouTube when I surpassed 100,000 subscribers on my channel. I mean, all of this is so surreal, I have to say. It's just, like I mentioned in the Q&A portion, I just am having the best time here on YouTube. I love you guys so much. I feel like the community we've built has been absolutely amazing. I feel like the friends that I've made, you guys, other creators, it's just been so incredible. So thank you so much. This is just a really small way of me saying thank you to you guys for your support. So anyway, I'll see you guys real soon in my next video.